Welcome to Spot On, the special edition of the T20 World Cup, where we'll be looking into the final of this mega championship, which is being played in the West Indies. The final is happening on Saturday, and I and Jitesh are going to give our comments on how the match is going to pan out. Good evening and welcome to Spot On, the special edition of Spot On, where we are looking at the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup just finished yesterday in the West Indies, and the final coming up tomorrow night. I have with me Jitesh, and Jitesh, a superb win for India over England in the semi-final yesterday, a comprehensive win. And when you take the entire match, it was total domination with the bat, and then all over England with the bowling. So England really had no chance in this game, and for India it was led by skipper Rohit Sharma. He wanted to give India a good start, which he did in the one-day international ODI World Cup also last year, and very positive start. Never allowed England to get on top of the game. England were totally outplayed in this match, and a lot of credit to Rohit for giving India this huge win.
First of all, thank you for inviting me again. Good evening, everybody. You're right, absolutely right. And all in all, complete performance by Indian team. I think that was more or less expected. Nothing surprising from what we talk about the way Indian team was playing all through this World Cup. I mean, lots of chat has been going around about the mix, the playing 11 for India and all the stuff. However, I think India looks a very formidable, well-settled team, and this is what is getting showed in the performances that they are putting up in the World Cup. And this semi-final was nothing less than a true champion performance from Indian team. I mean, if you talk about the entire game, all the three avenues, they were excellent with the batting. I mean, I was also surprised when and I think Rohit also said that he also wanted to bat. So from the toss, I think it was all coming in, gelling in well for India to come out as the winner, as they did. So is giving those starts, especially in these difficult pitches, and the reason why I say it's difficult pitch is not because the pitch has demons like New York and the other US pitches, but it's more or less that how do you manage the utility of your players in your 11 that is there for each of the team compared to the conditions on the ground. Surprisingly, this Guyana pitch or the ground was a bigger ground compared to other West Indian grounds. Yeah. And India playing those three spinners and having that backup as the fourth spinner, I think it is coming as a perfect bowling attack that India could get. Bumrah is doing his bit. Arshdeep is taking the wickets. Hardik Pandya is chipping in, and Kuldeep Yadav, to be honest, right now he's the best bowler right now in the world if I talk about spinning attacks. So I think
we'll come to the spinning spinners, Indian spinners later. But if you take Rohit's innings, but this was a totally different innings. He had to judge the pitch.
Yes.
The ball was not really coming on, and he played I think a fantastic innings on this pitch.
Yes.
And if you see, the emotions after later, and he's really determined this time that India should go all the way and take the cup. And start of Kohli. Kohli again, I think. Didn't really, I think he's a player who cannot play shots very early. I think he's got to play himself in, gauge the pitch and the way the ball is bouncing and coming on. But the balls were keeping low and not really coming that high to him.
Yeah.
And he hit that one good six, but after that, I think he played all over that delivery from.
Yes, you're spot on this, because as you say, right, Kohli has a game where he builds his inning, right?
Exactly.
He has those shots that he picks, the one that he hit for six, but right now he's looking as, because he's opening and he has that responsibility on his shoulder to. I think he's trying too much He's trying too much to
pressure.
hit every ball out of the park or score those boundaries, wearing his game as a chase master. I mean, since past so many years, decades also, he builds that inning. He starts with taking those single doubles. He keep rotating the stride, and when the ball comes into his area, then he goes for the shot. So that of pressure on Kohli, unfortunately, but as an opener. So the number 3 that we have been discussing about.
From the beginning, what we were talking about, it's time for the Indian management to rethink about Kohli's position, I think. And I think there's no harm. Yashasvi give a left-right combination to begin with, and Kohli probably will have a little more time to gauge how the match is going, and then step in and then build in and play, in a nature of what is necessary at that point.
So you are recommending India to do what they did in 2007 World Cup final, right? They brought in Yusuf Pathan, and in just the one game that he played, right? So try to chop and change in the final, because they have played the combination. The only change that they did was they brought in Kuldeep in place of Siraj when the game went to the next stage in West Indies. But because Shivam Dube is not giving you those kind of runs or shots which he's been selected for. And to be fair on him, it is about the pitches, because the pitches are also helping the slow bowler.
His dismissals were rather very tame, just poking outside the off stump. And a batsman of, you don't expect him to be playing those kind of shots. At least push for a single, go for his shots.
So that is why if there is any room for change, I think they'll swap Yashasvi with Shivam Dube and then get Kohli at number 3. But I think that's what we think as a fan of cricket, or watching from sitting here and while the guys are strategizing and making their
they wouldn't want to really go and make a change for the final.
One thing I wanted to talk about was, because we just touched upon it, Rohit Sharma's innings in the past 2 games that he has played. I mean, you need to playing and how others are playing, but you just compare it with him. In specifically on this game, semi-final, England captain is an opening batter. Both of them opened the innings. Butler went for all the shots, edges here and there, because he wanted to, make that point that I'll take over the bowlers. But Rohit Sharma, that is where he's excelling. He is not going for every ball behind the bowlers, He's waiting for the bad balls. He's waiting for the, his strength areas. What he is doing is, I have seen this in the last World Cups and the previous 2 World Cups that he played. If you remember, Shaheen Shah Afridi got him first ball and all that. So there is a change of his, I would say, the start. He was more or both the legs were pointing, to the leg stump. Now he is open. His back to play those opening bowlers, especially those left armers who were going to swing in. So what time when the ball is a bit short, then he can go for his shot towards the leg side. And I think that adjustment is paying reaps of benefits to what he is doing. And because of that, if you see the last game compared to the previous 92 that he made, he was 18, 19 balls, he scored that 50. Yesterday was a bit slower, but that was the need of the hour. If he had gone for all the shots and he would have gone out that time, we were looking for a 120, 130 score, and this would have been a different story altogether.
At one stage it looked like that, but Surya Kumar again played a very good innings, and then there was all others all chipped in towards the end, and it was a really good score. Another player, Indian player, have a slight problem with is Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja. I think he's got to be careful because his place in the team might just go to Akshay Patel. Patel is having a superb World Cup, both in terms of his bowling and his fielding, and also he chips in with handy runs. Jadeja has just not got going in this tournament. Maybe he's getting this 6 or 8 balls to play, and it is not his natural style of playing. He needs time to settle in, and go. But he's in that position where he just cannot afford to be playing those singles, trying to settle himself in. He's got to play shots. So even in terms of bowling, he's been leaking runs, and Akshar on the other hand has been really dominant. He's been a very key player for India in this World Cup. So Jadeja will have to come good, and probably the final is one in which he'll have to show his class.
Interesting observation from you, and I'm not saying you are right or wrong, or I am right or wrong, but you need to see what is this playing 11 that India is putting in each of this game. What is the utility of each of the players? The reason why Jadeja fits in this 11 is because he's supposed to come at those situations where India top order is failing, and then he carries his bat. And then whenever required, the main spinners, which will be with the new ball during power play, will be Akshar Patel, because that's what they need, because in these kind of pitches, if you see, right, it is keeping a bit low in uneven ball bounce. With the new ball, he's getting that spin as well, right, which Jadeja will get only with old ball. So if Akshar Patel or the other spinner have a bad day, then he comes in and puts those over. So his utility in the 11, I think it is very well defined, and I am not worried about how the way he is going. Similarly, like Kohli, his role is also defined. But if the team is winning, if the team is performing, and the team is doing what they have decided and strategized in the dressing room, I think nothing will change in the final. And I think India looks positive, because even if you see yesterday's game, right, Surya Kumar Yadav, after the first 25-30 runs he made, he was struggling to get those boundaries. He was struggling to hit the spinner, especially Adil Rashid. He was playing 4 to 5 dot balls every over for Rashid. So the pitches are not that easy for spin bowling, right? And Dubey also surprised. Ideally he comes at number 4 or 5, but Jadeja and everybody were promoted above him. So I think it is just the mix of it, how you are seeing as per the situation. Every over, every 2-3 overs, what they are doing is they are creating those milestones of 2-3 overs, and they are dividing the entire 20 overs into 6-7 blocks now. And as in when the blocks they are meeting the requirements, then they look into do what changes is required and all this stuff. So yes, Jadeja, as you rightly mentioned, has not performed the way he's supposed to. However, I don't think so.
The team is doing well. Whether Jadeja really taking those wickets or not taking those wickets or bowling effectively doesn't matter at the moment. But when the performance has not been good, and then he'll have to step up. So let's wait and see. But have to be really happy, because they have two of the top bowlers going around. Bumrah at the top is amazingly good, difficult to score off him, and he takes wickets. And then there's also Kuldeep Yadav. I think
the champion,
he's been a champion spinner. He came on late in this tournament, but he's almost at certain matches unplayable. All the batsmen are finding it difficult to play in. And these two are the trump cards for India when they go into the final. So I think the other bowlers will have to back them up and give them, and then India will be, the bowling will be top notch.
Absolutely. So whenever I have played cricket in my younger days, or still I am playing as a captain, so whenever I share this with the team, most of the time I get lots of hoo-has and why you're saying this and all this stuff. But for me, any level of cricket, be it international, local, domestic, you will win games by batsmen, but you will win a tournament because of your bowlers.
You need to take the wicket.
If you are not a good bowling side, you will struggle as a campaign. And I think India and South Africa are the only two teams across this tournament, and that's why you see they're undefeated, both of them. Because their bowling attack is coming to the mix how it's supposed to be. Nokia, all IPL, he struggled. Before that he was injured also. He came back, but then he was dropped from Delhi Capitals. He came back, the way Makram is utilizing him in those middle overs with his pace and bounce, it is suiting his kind of bowling that is required, and that's why he's reaping wickets, right? Similarly, Bumrah, even if he's going with the new ball, he's going for few runs, he knows that I have those, mixes of slower ones and you know a bouncer, the surprise bouncers and all the stuff, which he's mixing and he's getting wicket. Kuldeep Yadav, I think he's a genius. He's just thriving on what he's supposed to do. He's not trying to do any special or superhero stuff. He's just bowling to his strength, and I think he's unplayable.
2 points. Elaborate more on that. One is the captaincy of Markham. I think it's been superb. And I was just reading through his record. He led South Africa to the Under-19 World Cup title, and all the World Cup matches he has captained South Africa. 2 earlier also he did in the last World Cup, and he's never lost.
Yes.
So he got 6 in the Under-19 World Cup, 2 in the previous 22 World Cup, and 8 here.
Yes.
So this is an amazing record.
Yes.
And I've been impressed with his captaincy, especially when you saw in the semi-final, he gave Keshav Maharaj the second over, and then he realized that this pitch he had to, Jansen was bowling well, and then he brought in Rabada at the other end, and made the difference. And his bowling changes have been very good.
And he brought himself also.
Exactly. Whenever
and he got the wicket first ball.
Yeah. And like whenever left-handers have been there, he's come on to bowl, and he's also brought Maharaj to bowl when the right-handers were at green. His captaincy has been amazing, and that will be quite crucial, I think, for South Africa in the final. And the second thing you said is about the South African bowling. For playing against India, it's a totally different matter. I mean, the pitch, of course, in Barbados, we don't know much about it, how it's going to turn out. But the way the pitchers have been playing in the West Indies, it doesn't look like it's going to come on easily to the bat. They might be, it might be a bit tacky from what, and then considering the rain and the weather conditions, we really don't know how the pitch will play. But I think they don't have class spinners like what India have, though there is Shamsi and Maharaj. But all these players, Indian batsmen might be quite familiar with, because they've been playing in the IPL. They have tackled all these bowlers in the IPL. Plus the fact there's been a lot of one-day internationals and T20 matches between India and South Africa. So the key point for South Africa is how are their bowlers going to perform against this Indian batting lineup?
Yeah. So specifically, it's a very good point that you made, that India edges past on paper with the world-class spinners and the bowlers that they have, but just we need to understand, it's just those 20 overs now that will define the entire World Cup for both the teams, for their bowlers. So even if Shamsi or Maharaj or for Makram, they are not that world-class compared to our bowlers, but they just need to perform for those 12 overs that they are going to bowl, and they might become the world champions, right? So it is about, last game is all about how pressure, how do you keep your basics, your discipline, and you just do what you're supposed to do. Don't try to be a superhero, don't try to do something new because it's a final. The moment you start thinking about it's a final and it's not another game, then you succumb to the pressure. So I know on paper India is well ahead in this final, but with Afghanistan, right? Exactly what happened to Afghanistan. What I'm saying is, because you see, they perform like any champion team across the World Cup, right? And we also always talked about, while defending, they are the best bowling side right now. However, they took that semi-final, the big stage, into their heads, and they knew that in fact they were playing 9 bowlers, right? But they forgot that even if you have 9 bowlers, you need to defend a good score, a par score minimum, which their batter had to do. And because they didn't do that, they lost the plot at the first innings only.
Exactly.
So cricket is everybody say cricket is a funny game, right? No, it is not a funny game. But yes, the things that you overthink about cricket, it's all about how you manage pressure, game by game, and that's what put you there at world-class level, and these people are supposed to do that. You don't think about I'm playing against Pakistan, you don't think about I'm playing against Australia, you think about what is I am gonna do on the day when I am with the bat or with the ball or in the field.
I think the problem with Afghanistan was they thought they were already into the final, the way they won the match.
They decided they celebrated too early.
They celebrated too early, and I think they didn't prepare properly for the final. I think.
So, on this, sorry to interrupt, was I saw that one when they qualified for the next stage, and the way they celebrated and they lost every goddamn emotion during the celebration. Exactly the same thing happened with Afghanistan, and I think that's what it comes to. You can't celebrate so early.
Exactly. So I thought the celebration could have been done after the final or after they won the final. So what even at the stage, even when they lost those early wickets, I think they should have consumed the 20 overs.
Yes.
Another, probably if they had taken it to 100 or a little 100 or 110, still the fighting chance for them.
Exactly.
But, like sometimes you feel like a headless, almost like without thinking they were going and playing. So to go back to my feeling is that they didn't prepare themselves properly for the final, and thought that the way they were playing throughout the tournament, that was just enough for them.
You're spot on this.
Yeah.
As I said, right, it's all on the mindset, right? I think when this Jonathan Trott and Bravo, when they came up with the 15 squad for Afghanistan and they were preparing for this tournament, I don't think so they ever believed that they will win the World Cup.
Yeah.
So they were trying that, okay, we will play good cricket. We have bowling strength. We have good batsmen who are there in the mix who can put good scores like Gurbaz and all. But they never thought that we are gonna, compared to teams like Australia, India, for that, always prepare that we are gonna win the World Cup.
Yeah.
That is the mindset. If you think that I'm gonna go to that, you will do everything. Your body language, your muscle memory, everything puts it the best that you can do to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
But for them it was that we need to perform and show everybody that we can be the world beaters, and I think that they did.
Yeah.
And that is why when they qualified, I think they lost all the emotions and they were a bit laid back. Okay, now we are in the semi-final, now we can do anything. No, it doesn't work like that. And not recent was the Euro Cup where Georgia beat, right?
Yeah.
So the big team. So this is how South Africa should learn. South Africa has so much going into their media, in their mindset right now, that this is our first World ICC major final. What special we need to do? Sorry, you don't need to do anything special. You just carry on what you have been doing. Similarly for India, and I think this is where team of India, because even after securing all these wins, I don't see them celebrating like they have done something unthinkable. They are 363 runs, all clinical wins, and they know that they have not done something supernatural, that they have come out of a losing cause or something, except for that Pakistan game. Other than that, I think they are a bit chilled on this. They are doing what they are supposed to do, and I think that is where they will edge in the final. But 50-50 chance to both the teams. I know everybody will be saying it, but right now it is 50-50. It all depends on how the pitch plays. It all depends on how you come with your combinations and how the batting and the bowling comes on that day. So, which is what cricket is all about.
So, South African team is a big change. They are mentally quite strong. I think they haven't collapsed in any of the games. Even when their totals were small, they still fought hard, and they have been playing. And it's a very good combination, I think. If you take the batting as well as the bowling, it's a superb, very well balanced South African team. And Quinton de Kock, of course, coming back to form, and then a lot will depend on him. And then, of course, we have Klaassen, the captain Markram, and also Miller downwards. These players all can score at a very fast pace. So it's, but again, like I said earlier, they all know how these South African players play. They might have seen some, the chinks in the armor, and then probably they will try to go for that. And if I look at the bowling, I think Indians appear to be much more strong, and especially on these pitches, the spin plays a big role, I think. And the Indian spinners are certainly much better than the South African bowlers. And for South African bowlers, I think Rabada and Johnson and Nokia have the pace. But the thing is, on these pitches, whether the pace will make it easier for the Indian batsmen to score. Particularly, like Rohit and Kohli also probably will like the ball coming on, even like Pant for that matter. Will like this ball coming on and could make it easier for them.
So I mean, we are just one day away from the finals, right? And it is the right time. If you ask me if I have to dissect both the teams and take out what exactly is the problem areas right now, which might be taken advantage by the opponents. If I start with South Africa, the biggest problem that they have is, with all these names that you took, the middle order does not exist right now.
Exactly.
Their middle order is not even performing in any of the games. Somewhat Klaasen played 1 or 2 innings, Miller saved them in 1 game. But as a unit, the middle order does not come with a plan, because the pitches are not like South Africa, and the game also is not that only fast bowlers will be there, and they need to rotate strike in the middle overs, which is what Surya, Hardik and these guys are doing, right? So if I we are a bit ahead in the middle order as well, because our middle order is tested. Obviously, Shivam Dube and Jadeja needs to come into the foray, but South Africa has a bigger problem. Coming to the pace attack, I think South Africa has an edge, because they have 3 good quality pace bowlers and they can hit the deck. Sometimes why you use fast bowler is because irrespective of the pitch, with that speed of 140 plus, it's not easy for the batsman to hit where they want to. So I think that perspective, I rate Maharaj and Shamsi very high in T20 cricket.
Okay.
I know they are not at par at Kuldeep Yadav right now, the way he is bowling, but South Africa is edging ahead because they have 2 very good quality T20 spinners, Maharaj and Shamsi. They excel in these T20 conditions, wherein when people go for big shots, it's not easy to hit them because they are a bit slow and they are a good turner. So I think South Africa will edge ahead over there, but they have Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, which will play in the minds of bowlers like Jansen, because Jansen has always been wavered with new ball, and they are not using Rabada and everybody regularly as a new bowler. So somebody asked me who will win the final. Even if I am a big Indian team fan, I will still give 50-50% chances, because both teams have performed like anything. They are unbeaten, and whosoever plays the best cricket and basic cricket which you are supposed to do as a cricketer will sail through easily.
So if you look at the captains, one has got a superb record in the World Cup. Markram has won all his World Cup matches at the under-19 level as well as the senior level. But Rohit, it seems, is very keen. He wants to win this World Cup. He's taken India close to 2 finals, the Test Championship final and also the one-day final last year. So this is his big chance, and I'm sure he will give his all, and he's leading from the front. That is very good for India.
And this is the right opportunity to change the stats, right? If Rohit Sharma wins, the first final he will win. If Mark both there to create history as far as the numbers, and numbers, doesn't matter in these kind of finals. It is all about the controllables that you have. Everybody stick to their controllables, what they can do, and result will automatically
happen. I think for both teams, it's what they have done so far. Like you said, just stick to that, play to that, and on that day, whichever team.
And don't take it as a final. It's another T20 game for them. The moment you start overthinking about finals and all the stuff, you will have a problem.
Okay, so let's look forward to a good final.
Yes.
Keenly contested final, and let's all enjoy the final. So,
thank you. Signing off,
and see
you after the finals. Bye-bye.
Bye. So we have friends of cricket here at the Hello Camp Pizza. They have all been watching the World Cup. So let's test them with a question. If you answer this question correctly, you get a vegetarian pizza from Eloca. So the question is, which team conceded the most extras in this World Cup?
Most extra.
Extras in this World Cup in a match.
In one match, not total, right?
In one match.
I think it's Team USA.
Bangladesh?
USA is close, but one more team.
Bangladesh?
No, not Bangladesh. This country is near Singapore. Near Singapore and near Australia.
New Zealand?
No, between Singapore and Australia.
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea is the correct answer.
Thank you.
So,
A non-cricketer getting a pizza for the cricket question. Shame on cricketers.